And I'm telling you right now, I know Halo Reach is coming out next year, but it's going to be between Halo and God of War 3, which gets Game of the Year 2010. Hands down, in terms of Halo's popularity and God of War's technology. I just don't see nothing else doing it. That's how serious it is. Okay, now, the next thing I want to say is this. EA, they a big company. We all know that and everything. And they still trying to battle to get that #1 spot, because Activision is #1 publisher in the industry. So EA, they got Bad Company, Medal of Honor. They got a lot of great games coming out. But there's a new franchise that's coming, and that's the MMA franchise. But even though I haven't seen or played the game myself, do you leave your comments and let me know what you think? Do you feel that EA MMA is dead on arrival in terms of as soon as it comes out, it's not going to have an impact in the industry? The reason why I kind of agree with that statement is because UFC 2010 is already coming out. You got Kimbo Slice up in there, you know what I mean, which is going to be a big media hit. The game is already hot and it did over 2 million. The game is only going to get better, and EA's MMA is coming out the gate for the first time. And you know, first IPs, no matter how good they are, they will have a lot of rustiness to their gaming, you know, to their gaming platform right there, in terms of the controls being tight, trying to get things right, things you want to do that you couldn't get done on the first one. You know how it is. So when MMA come out on EA, they're not going to have the type of, you know, promotion that Dana White can give, because he actually represents UFC. So when you turn on television and you see UFC and you see all this stuff, it goes together one on one. You know, one hand washes the other. When you look at THQ and what they're doing with Dana White and what they're doing with the overall UFC TV show and the game, it's like, it's just too much over there. And the MMA that EA is doing, for what we saw, the little trailer, yes, it looks good, but it doesn't even look better than UFC. And first impressions means a lot. And that first impression didn't really do the job in terms of going against UFC and going toe to toe. So at the moment right now, leave your comments. Let me know what you think about that, because if MMA comes out and it doesn't really do good, will they pursue the franchise or really just give it up and focus on Fight Night and continue to make that better? We'll have to wait and see. So other than that, we're about to move into the game review of the day. The game review of the day is NBA Live 2010. I never reviewed this game. I only reviewed 2K10 and I went into other things, but I really wanted to bring you guys this NBA Live 10 review so you can see how it is. Now, in my opinion, I give this game an 8 out of 10. 2K10, you know, was better, you know, better on the basketball games, but I give this game, NBA Live, I give it an 8 out of 10. There's some things that they do wrong and you're going to see in the review, but there's a lot of things that they do right, and it's much better than any other live that has hit PS3 and 360 this generation. So you know what you do, right? Go out and get it if you haven't gotten it yet, because the game is that good and you're going to love it. Alright, so one love and God bless. You're going to see the game review, then we're going to come back to Gamers in the Street. Now, Gamers in the Street, you do not want to miss. Why? Because the creator of PlayStation Home, my man Jack Boozer, is on the show. That's what I'm talking about. That's how we getting it in. Alright, so one love, God bless. Shout out to my man Jack, and stay tuned for the rest of the show. And we gonna be back with the HipHopRss. You know how I do. Let's get it in. Peace.
Great adventures on PSP this Christmas. Play, create and share the fun on Little Big Planet. Race to the Arctic edge with Motorstorm. Fly into battle with Jack and Daxter. Your heroes, your adventures, your way. Your whole world in your hands. Only on PSP.
Yo, it's the Hip Hop Gamer Show NBA Live 2010 review. Let's get it in, baby. First things first, we're going to talk about the graphics. Now, the graphics look a lot better this year than they did last year. It's really tight. They got a lot more detail in the faces and the overall animation in the bodies. It looks really, really good. I mean, you can see, like, their veins popping out even on their legs. Like it's crazy. So graphically the game looks a lot better. It still could be better, but it is a major upgrade. You see the muscle definition, the sweat. It really looks good. So that's a major step up in the right direction. Second, gameplay. Now, first and foremost, this game has a lot of smooth animations. Like, it looks so much more like real basketball, and that's a major plus considering how NBA Live has been for quite a few years. So that's great right there. Smooth animations make the game look overall realistic, but it's not as responsive in terms of the controls. Like, I know you gotta make it realistic because of momentum-based gameplay being real in real life, but it's not as responsive as it should be, even with, the realistic movement and physics of the game. It's not as responsive, and that right there, even if you're a half a second off, it could throw off your whole game. Everything counts, and this game, they needed to do a better job in terms of the responsiveness of the controls. Now, you could pull off a lot of moves much easier, and they also feel a lot more natural. You hold down R2 and it goes into a setup mode, and then you just push left or right on a freestyle stick. It feels so much better, and the moves are more according to each player, like, you know what I'm saying? So it makes a lot more sense, and it works so much better. So you definitely enjoy that. Play calling in this game, it works well, but it don't feel as smooth in terms of how they did the on-screen menu. It don't feel as good. So to me, it's like it should have been a lot better. Like, that's just how I felt. You know what I'm saying? So the play calling is good. It works well in terms of what you want them to do. But it could have been so much better in terms of the fluidness and the seamlessness of having it. Now, the next thing is that a lot of times with live series, it was real arcadey. I mean, extremely arcadey. Now, that's not the case. It's much more of a simulation. I mean, the computer players play the passing lanes real well. You got to be real smart. And you just seen that alley-oop that the garbage Knicks caught on the Lakers. It was crazy just now. You saw that? That's what I'm talking about. Now, another thing is that the fact that it is simulation, you gotta change the entire way you play as opposed to the way it used to be when you played it before. So that right there is something to pay attention to. Another thing is that the physics plays such a big part in this game. Is crazy. I mean, the body crossing over, everything. You see that? Like, it's the physics. The character actually feel heavy, and it's like they got meat on their bones this time around. It's really good. The contact is really good. And the AI is great. They dive for loose balls, jump everywhere, knock the cameraman over. This game is so much better than ever before. So live is definitely the new jump off. Now, in terms of features, you can watch Sports Center in the gym, yo. Live Sports Center, countdown, everything right from the gym when you're practicing. Also, you got the dynamic DNA, which is great. So whatever's going on in real life is basically going on in the game. You just download it. So that right there is great. You got the Adidas Live Run where you get your squad, take them online, play a game of Top 21. It's amazing. The game is crazy. Also, you got the FIBA World Championship. So if you want to do the D-League and go across the country, you can do that as well and get a different type of championship aside from the NBA championship. This game has a lot. It has it all. But it does have its shortcomings. And I give this game an 8 out of 10. The reason why is because I felt that there should definitely be more of a balance, you know what I'm saying, with the controls. Like they definitely need to make the controls more responsive to make the game feel that much more realistic and natural while you're playing. And also they need to find better ways for you to defend the offense. Like, being a defender doesn't work as well as it should be and everything. You can do so much on offense, but on defense, individual defense, it's lackluster. It's a lot of things that should be there that's not there. So 8 out of 10 for NBA Live 10, and make sure you go out there and cop the game. It's definitely worth a purchase. So enjoy the rest of the footage. We're gonna get it in. You know how we do. Alright. Kobe. You see how like they move and stop in the momentum? That's crazy right there. The sense of speed is a lot better. Everything, like you guys, yo, y'all don't know. If you didn't get this game yet, yo, you need to get it. Boom. Even the rebounding is so much better. Like the way they space out and the physics and everything I was telling you before. I mean, it's everything that's happening is happening. It ain't no pre-rendered.